I still remember the exact sound of the zipper. Slow, careful, final. Cut through the apartment like a blade. I was sitting at the dining table, staring at a cold plate of food, pretending not to hear her packing in the bedroom. For years, pretending had become my survival skill. Pretending not to notice her late nights. Pretending not to question the way she guarded her phone. Pretending not to feel small every time she spoke to me like I was an inconvenience instead of a husband. When she walked out with her suitcase, she didn't cry. She didn't hesitate. She didn't even look back. "I want a divorce," she said, her voice flat, almost bored. "I can't live like this anymore." Like this, as if I was the problem. The door closed behind her, and for a long moment I didn't move. I didn't shout. I didn't chase her. I just sat there, breathing shallowly, as if the walls themselves had sucked all the air out of the room. 10 years of marriage ended in a sentence shorter than a grocery list. That night, I slept on the couch. Not because I had to, but because the bed still smelled like her and I couldn't bear it. The days that followed were brutal. Friends stopped calling. Mutual acquaintances suddenly became distant. Even my own family spoke carefully, as if I were fragile glass. "She wouldn't leave without a reason," one of them said. "Maybe you didn't fight hard enough," another suggested. No one asked what I had endured. They didn't see how I had slowly erased myself to keep her happy. How I gave up hobbies she mocked. Friends she didn't like. Dreams she called unrealistic. I had learned to say sorry even when I didn't know what I was apologizing for. Learned to lower my voice. Learned to accept silence as punishment. I thought that was love. It wasn't. It was submission. The divorce papers arrived faster than I expected. Clinical. Cold. Efficient. She had already planned everything while I was still trying to understand what went wrong. Signing them felt strange. I thought my hands would shake. They didn't. Instead, something else happened. I felt calm. Not relief. Not happiness. Clarity. If she could leave so easily after everything I gave, then maybe I had never been valued in the first place. That thought hurt, but it also freed me. The first real change happened one morning when I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the man staring back. He looked tired, smaller, older than his age, and angry, not at her, at myself. That was the day I decided I was done being a doormat. I cleaned the apartment like I was erasing a ghost. Threw away things she insisted on buying. Rearranged the furniture. Changed the curtains. Changed the locks, not because she asked, but because I needed boundaries. I joined a gym, not to impress anyone, but because I needed somewhere to release the weight crushing my chest. The first week nearly broke me. My body ached. My lungs burned. But every drop of sweat felt like a confession I had held in too long. I started running early in the mornings. Writing late at night. Cooking meals she used to complain about. Slowly, painfully, I began to hear my own thoughts again. 3 weeks after the divorce, my phone rang. Her name lit up the screen. I stared at it until it stopped. Then came the message. "Can we talk?" I didn't reply. Another message followed the next day. "I think we need closure." Closure. Funny how people want closure only after they've already destroyed everything. I muted the conversation. For the first time in years, I chose silence. Not out of fear, but out of self-respect. Months passed. Life didn't magically become perfect. Some nights were still lonely. Some memories still hurt. But I was growing. Stronger. Sharper. More confident. People noticed. At work, I started speaking up. I got promoted. At social gatherings, I laughed louder, stood taller. I stopped apologizing for existing. I even started dating. Not seriously, just enough to remind myself that I was wanted, valued, seen. Then one night, everything changed. I saw her again at a mutual friend's event. She looked the same, beautiful, polished, confident. But when our eyes met, her expression cracked. She wasn't prepared for this version of me. I wasn't standing in a corner, broken. I wasn't avoiding her gaze. I was laughing, relaxed, alive. A woman stood beside me, her hand resting casually on my arm. I saw it then. Regret. Not the quiet kind. The violent, suffocating kind. She left early. That night, my phone exploded with messages. You look different. You moved on so fast. I made a mistake. I didn't answer, because deep down I knew the truth. She didn't miss me. She missed the version of me that needed her. When we finally met, it was her idea. She cried. She apologized. She blamed stress, loneliness, confusion. She said she loved me. I listened. Then I spoke. I loved you when you disrespected me. I loved you when you walked all over me. And you still left. She reached for my hand, pulled away. I'm not angry, I said calmly. I'm just not available anymore. That broke her more than any insult ever could. Walking away that day felt surreal. I wasn't triumphant. I wasn't cruel. I was free. I finally understood something most people learn too late. You can love deeply and still walk away. You can forgive and still choose yourself. And you never lose someone who didn't value you, you lose a burden. She begged. I didn't return. Because the man she wanted back no longer existed. And the man I had become? He would never be a doormat again.